Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Coach Simpson again. You can tell I'm not coming from my basement, not even coming from my house. I came up to the field house to go ahead and do some recording. All of this information is coming out of my book this week, Find a Way. I wrote it a couple of years ago. It came out last year. So if you're wanting to be a head coach, it's probably a good little, it's not very expensive, good little material you may be able to use. So this week is all about becoming a head football coach, so getting the job, and then what to do once you get the job. Yesterday I talked about connections, which is the most important thing on getting a job. But the second most important thing is making sure you look good on paper. That's going to be important, and that's in any world you might be in, is making sure that you are representing yourself well. And usually that's going to come with a resume or a portfolio or something you put together to help yourself. So I'm going to give you a couple tips that I've found along the way. One is, if you have somebody in your life who's good at that, get them to help you. If not, pay somebody who's good at that to help you, because we're football coaches. You know, I've actually written a few books. I'm not, if you knew me, that's probably not my strength. And so I recruited several ladies in my life to make that look good. Well, the same thing with my resume or portfolio or materials. I'm blessed to be married to a graphic designer, and so that kind of helps itself. If I was not, I would recruit one of those that's out there in the world, in the social media world, to come help me make myself look better than I really am. And so that's what you want to do on your resume, cover letter, anything you put in your portfolio. And I would include in your portfolio definitely a resume and a cover letter. You probably also want to include other materials. I'm going to go through a few of those as we move forward, like a plan of action once you get the job. Depending on what job you're interviewing for, you may want to put kind of what you've done in the past, maybe a slideshow or something along the lines. The more material, the better. But a couple of guidelines inside of that. One, don't ever lie. Don't ever lie on your resume or cover letter. Be honest with what you've done, and obviously you want to make it sound as good as possible. But what you don't want to do is misrepresent yourself in any way. It's going to get you in trouble in the long run. It's just not something that you want to be known for. So don't do that. Second thing, I already mentioned it, find somebody that's going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make it look good for you. And that might be somebody you have, like I mentioned, I'm married to one that does it, but you might not have that. So yeah, pay for that to be done, because this is going to get you a job. So think about long-term benefits. You might pay a little bit up front, long-term benefits there. A really good resource that I would recommend is Coach 4. This is kind of his world out there in California. He will do a good job. He'll ask you questions you probably don't even know about. He's done a great job with the stuff he's done to prepare guys to be a head coach. So those are things I would recommend you make sure you have right. You also want to make sure that you've got a packet that is unique to the school you're going to. Most recent school, I just took a job, so I just went through this process. So when I put through my packet to take with me to go interview, it had Cersei, their logo, on everything. It had things that were unique to their school that I wanted to do when I got here. So you don't want to just take a generic form to a school you go to. If you're putting in for a head coaching job, you want to make sure that you at least taken the time to make your resume, cover letter, portfolio unique to that school. And I know as a head coach, when you just wanted a head job and you honestly didn't really care where it was, so you probably applied at 30 different schools, that's difficult. As an older coach, I would recommend you be a little more careful in your choice as a head coach, because there is a reason some of those jobs are open, and there's a reason that guy left or was asked to leave. So be careful choosing your schools. I wouldn't recommend putting in at 30 schools. Put in at 3 or 4 or 5 schools that you want as you want to advance your career. But definitely make sure your resume is done correctly, done professionally, and done honestly. If you've got more questions, guys, like I said, you can reach out to me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. It is Christmas week, so I may be a little bit more busy with my family, but you can also order my book online. Find a Way. It's on my website, fbcoachsimpson.com. It's also on Amazon if you'd like to go that route with it. Appreciate you guys' time, and have a good Christmas.